Okay, hello everyone. So I thought I'd do a quick review for The Pianist. This is a Roman Polanski movie from 2002, which I probably should. I want to get into the movie, but I thought I'd just mention. Apparently, I don't know the details. I think he was accused of sleeping with maybe a 13-year-old or something back in the 70s, maybe. But basically, I don't think he can go back to America. He's wanted basically as a criminal. And it's confusing. I mean, that sounds messed up, but I don't know the details, and I kind of just want to enjoy this movie. I want to focus on the movie, but I thought I'd just mention it because I think he won maybe Best Director. It says here Best Director and Best Actor for Adrian Brody, 3 Oscars in total. Anyway, he got a standing ovation, and it's an interesting question. Like, same with comedy. I've looked up before what are the best comedy albums or the best comedy stand-up comedy of all time because I want to learn more. And Bill Cosby will come up, and now his reputation is very kind of dodgy or mixed, and it's the kind of thing where I'm not really interested in learning the details of the messed up things, or even say Michael Jackson. And I kind of feel like, can you ever, Michael Jackson, I don't know what's true about him. Did he do dodgy things with children? If so, that's very messed up. But does that mean now, if you hear beat it, beat it, beat it, or whatever, all his songs, do you now have to think, oh, he's a messed up person and I shouldn't enjoy this song? Or, if I watch The Pianist or some other Roman Polanski movie, do I have to think, this is by a weird, dodgy. And with Bill Cosby, can I laugh at his jokes, or do I have to think he's it's confusing. Anyway, for now I'm going to say you focus on the movie, but now I've spent a couple minutes. Anyway, this is a very powerful movie, but I don't completely like it. I feel like you roughly divide it into 2 or 3 sections. I guess if you haven't seen it, it is pretty dark. It relates to the Holocaust and World War II. It's a pretty serious subject matter. I just feel like it's almost boring parts of it. We get it. It's like with like the Lord of the Rings movies are pretty good, but in Cloaks 2 there's a part where they mock it, like it's basically just walking. And yeah, if there's too much of the same, like we get it. You don't have to keep showing it the same thing again and again. And I feel like The Pianist gets to a point where it's like we get it. So I will spoil it if you haven't seen it. It's considered highly, and I think it is thought-provoking. It's worth seeing to see what you think of it. Yeah, but so basically I feel like the opening is very good. The first third of it is incredible. Although the question with any movie is, what is the point of this movie? Why am I watching it? Where is it going? But the way it's done is, it's brutal. You really like Adrian Brody, you like his family as human beings. Not like they're perfect, but you care about them. And seeing what they go through is, very hard to take. And of course it's all realistic. I don't know all the details, but the wearing the star on the arm and then basically having things taken from you. There's some very brutal sequences. There's a part where a disabled man is sort of just taken out of his wheelchair and then thrown a couple of stories onto the pavement. That's really, really rough, of course. And there's parts where their property's basically been taken. They're hiding, I forget what it was, but they hide. Oh, they have a discussion about where to hide the money, and I thought that was pretty interesting as well, because they kind of argue with each other. There's tension, but it's something that they should never have to discuss. You shouldn't have to worry about that. And it's easy to say, oh, this person had the better idea, or this person had the better, but they're all just trying to do what's best for them. And just the way, I guess they're kind of waiting. There's a part where they're waiting and then there's someone screaming or moaning and they're like, oh, what is it? And then someone kind of explains, and once you hear that, you kind of understand why they're moaning like, there's so much bad stuff going on, and how does humanity survive? How do you stay human in the face of all that kind of stuff? It's highly, highly disturbing, of course. And I don't know that the movie tries to have answers. I don't know there are any simple answers. But anyway, I think the first third, very well done, very good acting, and very messed up. And then I think what happens, it keeps interesting, like he's trying to survive. There's some really messed up shots, or like kind of beautiful, but like, it's very sad, like just seeing him kind of wander, and his family's just been sent to, concentration camps, possibly death camps, almost definitely not going to survive. And he's walking alone now by himself. He's been saved, and there's just rubble and destruction everywhere, and now he's just got to survive. But that's where, some of it I think gets a little repetitive, or we get the idea. We don't need to see every detail. We can get it. You can cut to he's a bit more gaunt and he has a beard, and we get, okay, yeah, things are pretty bad. He's struggling to get food. We don't. There's sequences where you see he's trying to open something, and or he's just eating, and I don't think we need to see all of that. That's what I found a bit silly. I liked certain parts where there's a part where he's in like a bathroom area and he's looking through, and there's a few scenes follow through kind of an ongoing sequence of I guess some Jews are resisting, they're fighting back, and you kind of see the gradual step by step. I thought that was pretty powerful. There were also parts again where there'll be a little bit of outbreak of shooting, and then you might see certain people get killed. There was one part, I forget, some people get shot, and then a car drives along and it kind of runs over one of them. Like, I don't know how they actually did it. Some of the special effects are pretty good, but it's striking images, and I just liked how it was filmed. Like, it's, again, very dark, but very realistically done. I think it is important to have those kind of images and ideas in film, so we can think about it, process it a bit. Like, that's what war can be like. One part that, is very hard to watch was there's a kid trying to sneak under the wall, I guess there's a wall for the ghetto or whatever, and he starts screaming and he's getting beaten from the other side, and then he's trying to pull him through, and by the time he does, he's dead. And I think all of this is based on a true story, so I think most of these details are true. So yeah, I liked the first third, roughly. I found some of the other bits a little bit dragged on when he's kind of working in a place that there's potatoes, and then he kind of escapes from there, and I don't know, I thought I liked the parts of the war that he was seeing, just little bits and pieces here and there. And then it is interesting that he gets saved by someone who says, play some piano, and that person kind of helps him, and then he tries to help that person later, and I think he doesn't manage to find them. I think in real life that person ended up passing away in some Soviet camp years later, but I don't know. It's interesting that he happened to get saved, but I still feel like the movie lacks a message. Now maybe that is the message, that there is, it's war and hey, he just survived. But let's take this tagline. What was it? Music was his passion, survival was his masterpiece. I don't get it. Yeah, okay, music is his passion. That was irrelevant to most of the movie. It really has nothing to do with it. And survival's not a masterpiece. He didn't, he just survived. So in contrast with like Schindler's List, which I think has much more of a story to tell. There's some positivity to it. There's some meaning to it. The Pianist feels a bit empty. I feel like you needed something a bit more solid at the end to follow through with. Some kind of ending. And he survives. That's it. It is. I still think it's a fairly good movie. I don't know. I feel it's a bit overrated. It lacks that. What was the point? Why, as a filmmaker, you're choosing to tell this whole story. You would think you have some kind of ending or some kind of... Again, maybe I'm missing the point. Maybe that's what's meant to be profound. Maybe I'm looking for something that's not meant to be there. But I just think some of those later sequences get repetitive. They don't go anywhere. So I feel like maybe if you cut out a bunch of that stuff, like mainly have the opening part, but then have him, once his family leaves, or, is taken away, then cut a lot of the stuff, let us see a few glimpses of the war, and then cut to later, cut to several years later, or let us see something in his character, in his person, that was different before and after. Something that might give us hope or meaning. Maybe he marries someone afterwards, and then at some point there can be some memory of his family, or he does something to remember them, or he meets other people, and there's something in his character that changes. It shouldn't be too hard to find something real, but the movie, that's the thing, it feels kind of nihilistic. It's like, oh well, nothing. And we don't watch movies to just see nothingness, or to just see, all this bad stuff happen, and that's it. I mean, okay, it's nice that he's a concert pianist, and he's still alive, and I don't know, maybe, even something like, and you don't want to make it up, you don't want it to be fictional, but maybe at the start of the movie he's losing interest in piano or something, and then after that he's like, he needs something for his life, he's alive, and so he pushes himself to do more. Then it's like, okay, something grew in him from the experience, or something like that. So yeah, I'll pretty much leave it there. I'm glad I rewatched it. I do think it is an interesting movie. It's worth seeing. But I have about the same opinion I had the first time I saw it. I think I've only seen it maybe twice now. But just that, if anything, I was more impressed by the start and some of the other war sections. Just the way they were done, it just felt very realistic. Not trying to have too much commentary. It's very powerful. And then the other parts just, yeah, it drags. And I'm like, what's the point? Where are you going with this? Why are you showing all these sequences? I didn't feel like it had... It loses steam. Anyway, I've said that a bunch of times now. Anyway, alright. So thanks for watching. Bye.